what they've done to San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles. They're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. That's a war, too. It's a war from within. We should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military.
I mean, this is darkness. And in a nation where we have the most powerful military force on the planet Earth, people who are brave men and women who've sworn oath to protect the Constitution and to stand in defense of this nation, for a president to have the intention to turn them against Americans within our own borders is a violation of his oath and of our values. It's not about left or right. This is something all of us together should be standing up and condemning.
Today, Donald Trump stood in front of the most powerful, most serious individuals on earth, America's generals, all of them. And what did he do with this time, this rare occasion? Do you know when the last time that a president or a secretary of defense called in the entirety of America's generals? I don't, because I couldn't fucking find it, and ChatGPT couldn't find it, and no research that I had could find it. It doesn't happen. And what did they do with this important moment? He talked about the enemy within. He talked about America's dangerous enemy within problem, radical left-wingers. He said, they spit, you hit, thinking he would get an applause line, and he didn't. The President of the United States said, maybe we should use America's cities as a testing ground for the military, suggesting that the military generals were free to turn their guns on us. I take just little pieces of solace in the fact that the room was dead silent in these moments. Even with the president telling them, you have permission to clap, they did not. We'll see how it goes.
Trump was just joking. I don't know why we didn't get that, because the president, who's never shown any sign of being lighthearted or having any sense of humor, was apparently just joking with everyone when he posted the AI video of Hakeem Jeffries in the sombrero. This is what abusers do. Their weaponized joking allows them to shift blame for their humor onto the victim to avoid accountability, and also to test boundaries to see what you'll tolerate, just like all bullies. That's how we know he's not joking, because he doesn't joke. He rarely genuinely smiles or laughs. He's allergic to self-deprecating humor, and any humor he does have has a violence and anger behind it and is always at the expense of someone else or to make a political point. I mean, just like all of his authoritarian idols, he doesn't have a sense of humor unless he's making fun of someone else. I mean, he's so insecure. He's the only president to have boycotted every single White House Correspondents' Dinner when he's in office. Then again, maybe it's better he decided to avoid those dinners. There's always been the rumor that the reason he decided to run at all was in response to Obama's roast of him at the 2011 White House Correspondents' Dinner.
I now understand why they called Joe Biden Sleepy Joe. And it's because the American people were able to go to bed peacefully at night, knowing that the lights was going to be on and bills was going to be paid on time. Joe Biden was like, Tammy, I've been grown. I paid my bills are paid. But under Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, the chaos administration, the bills are not being paid. And the lights have been cut off. This is what you get when you vote for chaos. This is what you get when you vote for incompetence. And the cherry on top of all of it is because Donald Trump isn't getting his way right now. You know what his plan is? He is going to permanently fire federal workers in this furlough, hurting the American people. He is going to cut more money from Medicare and Medicaid, and possibly end the subsidies that are set to end in Obamacare in December. He doesn't want to renew it. All things to hurt the American people. We had a choice last year, and I will die on this hill. The American people chose wrong. Kamala Harris should be in that White House right now. And if she were in this White House right now, we would still have a government open and working for the American people. And now we're all in hell because we didn't choose her.
If you are not awake by now, then you know what? I don't know what the fuck is going to wake you up, because the president and Pete Hegseth just got on stage and basically said the enemy is within.
The Democrats run most of the cities that are in bad shape. We have many cities in great shape, too, by the way. I want you to know that. But it seems that the ones that are run by the radical left Democrats, what they've done to San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places. And we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. That's a war, too. It's a war from within. Last month.
If that's not bad enough, Pete Hegseth got up there and demanded things that flat out violate the Constitution. Thank God our military leaders were not clapping. They were taking notes, saying, who the fuck is this clown? Who does he think he is? This shit is illegal. This shit is unconstitutional. This alone should wake people up, okay? This is not about foreign wars anymore. It's about control right here at home.
World leaders were just caught laughing at and mocking Donald Trump over his pretend peace deals. Now, as you know, Donald Trump loves to say that he's solved 7 wars since becoming president. Nobody believes him except himself and his closest allies, but clearly world leaders aren't buying it either, as the president of France, Azerbaijan, and the prime minister of Albania were just caught laughing at him. Take a listen.
You didn't congratulate us on the peace deal that President Trump made between Albania and Azerbaijan.
Yeah, that's the prime minister of Albania saying that he wasn't congratulated for the deal between him and the president of Azerbaijan. Now, of course, he's making fun of that because Donald Trump says that all the time, but the war was between Armenia and Azerbaijan, not Albania. But Donald Trump can never get it right because he really didn't have a hand in solving the war. Donald Trump has made this country a laughingstock in his quest to get a Nobel Peace Prize, and it's going to be really funny on October 10th when he doesn't get it.
Morning, evening, or afternoon, everyone. The enemy from within, it's me and you. Everyone who doesn't agree with Donald Trump. The military is coming for you. So literally, he wants to turn our country into a one-party state. CCP, or what? That of North Korea, what do we call it? Is it CCP or what? He wants to turn our country into a one-party state.
That is an excellent question. A question that Donald Trump has answered several times.
And we're under invasion from within.
When you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
A few days ago, I called the fake news the enemy of the people, and they are. They are the enemy of the people.
So while Donald Trump considers American citizens the enemy and tells the military that we are being infiltrated from within, I want you all to remember one very important thing about this meeting. None of the military members clapped, neither for Pete Hegseth nor for Donald Trump, except for there was one moment where there was a little bit of loss in decorum, and I'm going to explain why.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh. You're not allowed to do that. You know what? Just have a good time. And if you want to applaud, you applaud. And if you want to do anything you want, you can do anything you want. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave the room. Of course, there goes your rank. There goes your future.
See, here's the thing. When those military members laughed, it wasn't at Donald Trump's joke. It was because what they were saying to his joke, which was, try me. These admirals and generals have been through it all. And when it comes down to it, they aren't afraid of him. And I hope he knows that.
All right, Trumpers, come and get me. Hey, listen, it's a sad day to be an American, and I'll tell you why. Is because it's not about the red, white, and blue. It's not about being an actual American. It's not about our military. It's about that Americans are plumb incompetent to put that orange man in the White House again for the second time. He makes us look weak. He makes us look like we're fools. He makes us look incompetent and weak. He's declining at a rapid rate. It's okay for him to get up there and scream profanity words, crazy, stupid, all these words that he says is terrible, but he claims to be this Christian, has this big Christian following. That doesn't sound real Christian-like to me, okay? That sounds like you bought into a cult. And it's just sad to think that all you Americans put us in this position that voted for him. It just makes me not even want to be an American. And a lot of people's going to read this about, well, then move. Well, now, bitch, be smart about what you're saying. It's an analogy of just saying that it's your fault for voting for him. It's your fault for putting him in the White House, and it's your fault for making this country the way it is because you were too daft and too incompetent and too uneducated to see what this man was doing to us. So, MAGAs, you did fuck us, and thank you for fucking us.
This is just embarrassing. So we all know Trump has been trying to take credit for ending the war between Albania and Azerbaijan, despite the fact they've never been at war with one another. Well, now the leaders of these two countries and the president of France are gathering together and laughing at Donald Trump, making fun of the United States because of what he said. Look at this.
You should make an apology to us. Because you didn't congratulate us for the peace deal that President Trump made between Albania and Azerbaijan. I'm sorry for that. Yeah. So, and he worked very hard. He worked very hard. We had 5.
Trump has repeatedly bragged about making peace between these two countries despite the fact there was never any conflict. Here they are on a map. As you can tell, they're over 1,000 miles away from one another. But that video is the perfect example of how the rest of the world views the United States right now. They're laughing at us, mocking us. We're being humiliated on the global stage, and I'm sure our foreign adversaries absolutely love it. And this also shows Trump's pattern of trying to rewrite history to glorify himself any chance that he gets. Whether it's historic peace deals or trade deals or all of the economic success, he loves to make up accomplishments out of thin air. And the problem is his supporters believe every single word that he says. But when you lie all the time, especially about diplomacy and peace, you undermine America's credibility. If our allies and adversaries believe the U.S. can't be trusted to tell the truth, it weakens our negotiating power in real conflicts that actually matter. Bottom line, the world is laughing, not with Trump, but at him and at us. And while this might seem like it's funny, it's actually dangerous.
Fifth Amendment to be invoked against Donald Trump. And he talked about how he's unhinged. He is probably suffering from dementia. He's getting worse, and he's a threat to the country. And so I'm going to play you just a small portion of what Governor Pritzker said. But then I really need to make some important points about this, because there's something that people really need to understand about the 25th Amendment. Anyway, watch this.
Note, the President of the United States is not sending troops into Republican cities or into Republican states. He's talked about it, but that's not what he's doing. He is focused on Democrats, and now he's made an enemies list. He's made a list of people that are his political opponents, and he's calling us domestic enemies. I mean, what kind of a country are we in here? The United States used to be a country where the president followed the Constitution, where the president believed in the rule of law, where the president didn't target people based on their views, but rather had debate with people and maybe won, maybe lost in an election and put their views forward and got them passed. But the idea that you're going to go suggest that you're going to arrest people or that people don't deserve to be U.S. citizens when they are, just because they oppose the President of the United States. I mean, there is something genuinely wrong with this man, and the 25th Amendment ought to be invoked.
Okay, so I absolutely love to hear Governor Pritzker calling this man out and imploring people to do something about this. That this is not right, this is un-American, and this man should not be president. And he's talking about taking action to strip him of his power. And I absolutely support that. More people should be calling for this. I mean, the number of impeachable offenses and outright crimes that he has committed just since taking office in January, the fact that not everyone is talking about how do we remove this guy from office it's an illustration of how screwed up this country is, because we would not have tolerated virtually any of this from any other president. Anyway, but there's something that I really need to address about the 25th Amendment. Because can we all agree, let's agree on something real quick. What really should happen to Donald Trump is that he should be impeached and removed from office. That, we can agree on that, right? That is what should happen to him. Now, people aren't talking about that.
So if you have watched to the end, thank you. My name is Anthony, and several Democrats have really asked me, can the 25th Amendment be invoked for Donald Trump? Can it? What I can say is that during the 2017, his first term, it could be invoked. But at the moment, it can't. Because when Trump came to power, what really made Trump so powerful is the support he had from within the party, because he really worked very hard to dismantle the Republican Party. And now he has people he can trust in the government. Second, Trump is not alone in the presidency. Trump doesn't rule alone. Project 2025 and the likes of Vogt and the likes of Stephen Miller and the likes of Peter Deere are the guys who are supporting him. So Trump is not a sole president. So the thought of invoking the 25th Amendment is BS. It can't happen in our country at the moment. It can't. Zero. So the only thing that is standing between Trump and taking over United States at the moment is me and you. People every day who are standing against him. And by doing so, we have been labeled as terrorists. People who don't think the way Trump does. We have been labeled as domestic terrorists, enemy from within. But in the real sense and in the real truth, we are the guys who are standing between Donald Trump and absolute dictatorship. Fact. We have Christian nationalists who are running our government. And they think that everyone who isn't a Christian or who doesn't adhere to Christian values is the enemy from within. It's the enemy from within. And guys, I would like to listen to your comments in the comment section. Because you are watching my videos and staying silent, and this is not the way. We have to have these public discussions, talking, discussing. It's the only way, organizing, fundraising if possible, or if there is any cause which we believe in. So if you're watching these videos, make sure to comment so that we can spark a national discussion. It's possible.